How's it? What we're going to do is use our Illustrator file that we created of our green meadow from our sunrise or sunset. And remember before we animated that into Illustrator. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take in our bear, and we're going to make him a polar bear, or a wannabe polar bear, a bear lost in a cold place. And what would a cold bear eat for breakfast? I think he'd eat Frosted Flakes. So what we're going to do is go to your Illustrator file, and we're going to create some white caps on our mountain. So Command plus, you can kind of zoom in, and with our P for pen tool, you can kind of click and click and click and kind of just create our white cap. Make sure you close it, and then you can choose a white. Okay, and we're gonna make it look a little bit more gradient. Command C, Command F, that will duplicate it, and then hit A for apple, and then you can click on one and try to move like one of the corners, and then hit V as in Victor, and you can take one of them and change it to a slightly darker white. Okay, so it looks a little bit like that. So we're going to take our grass and make it into snow grass. So we're going to go to Effect and Stylize and Scribble. And then you can kind of play around with your scribble to get what you want. But instead of green, we're going to go to white, and then click on white and go a little bit off of a white. There you go. So it looks more like a winter wonderland. Now what we're going to do is hit Command S to save it. Okay, and now if we go to our After Effects and go to the sunrise, it should change. And if it doesn't change, go to that layer, and you can control click and hit reload footage, and then it should reload and change it right in After Effects. So that's why it's really important that the file is saved, like that location where these files are saved. You can't move it too much. It has to be in the same location. You can't change the file name and things like that. It needs to be the same, so the link will work. Okay, so now that we have here, let's insert our bear. So with our bear, we have an accessory of some kind that we're going to be moving. Here we have a balloon that we could move. Let's see. What I'm going to do is, let's see, Effect. Now, you have to decide how you're going to animate it. Okay, so if he's going to like take the bow off, or move the bow, or the balloon's going to go up, or something, it's got to be able to animate. So for example, if you want the left arm, but then you also want a right arm, you could Command C, Command V, or not a right arm, but what you could do is turn the arm like this and flip the arm. Okay, so maybe he's going to like, see, maybe he's gonna like take the arm, take it like this. Okay, instead of, make sure it's a new layer. Okay, so Command F, and then call that raise or something. So, so whatever is going to be animated, for example, if it's going to blink, then the eyes need to be in a separate layer and whatnot. And then go ahead and make sure you save that layer. And again, in your Google Drive folder, okay, and bear. And then in your After Effects, you're going to import the bear. And by the way, with your bear, one thing you should do is we need to put him in the size of the video file. So for example, if we import him now, he's going to be way too big, or it might be way too small. So, and by the way, if you resize the bear, his stroke might change. So for example, let's say I want to make him smaller. Like this. Okay, notice how the strokes all didn't change. That's because you need to go to Preferences, Command K in General, Command K, and make sure this is selected, Scale Strokes and Effects. Okay, so if it's not, then the stroke is going to be way too big. So go ahead and copy our bear and hit Command N, and we're going to put it into, we'll call this Bear 720. And make sure it's the same 720, and everything looks great, and hit OK, and then hit Command F. Okay, and then we can kind of resize him. No, don't do that. Okay, so with your bear, make him about half the size of this page, because that's about the size of the screen. And then we're going to go into After Effects. Okay, let's import our bear. Command I as an igloo, and hit bear, and make sure it's composition. Okay, and you can retain layer sizes if you want to. Let's just choose composition and hit open and see if the layers are okay. And we're going to hold down Shift and select all of our bear layers and put them at the top so it's in front. Okay. Notice how he's a little bit smaller, or he may be bigger for you. Hit S for scale, and then you can actually make him a little bit bigger. You can move him up. Okay. Maybe I want to put him right here. Okay. So now we can animate him. Okay. Now, if he's out of order, like if his eye, you can't see his eyes or his ears, it may be behind him. So make sure these layers are in the correct order so that they're recognizable. So for the left arm, we don't need the raised arm yet, right? So on this timeline down here, the purple, you can actually subtract it. So for the first few seconds, you don't see it. And then maybe the last 5 seconds you do see it. Okay, so see there's this right arm. Okay, so let's start at maybe 3 seconds. And again, yours is going to be totally up to you and what you want to have him do. And notice that the order is all alphabetical order. See balloon, bear, bow. So if it's not in the right order, you could also number it, like 1 bow, make sure the bow is on top, 2 bear, 3, and so on. Like in Illustrator, you may want to come in here and make sure the bow, if you really want that bow to be on top, you may want to put 1 and put bow to make sure that stays on the top layer. Or you can just reorder them, so there it is. Okay, so first the arm is down, okay, and then right here the arm is going to go up, and as soon as that goes up, I'm going to make his other arm disappear because we don't need it, right? So we can go to this side and kind of subtract it there. So here it goes there, and it goes switches up, okay? And now with the bow, you can decide what you want to do with it. So for example, if you want to move it, click on bow, P for position, okay? Hit the stopwatch, drag it out a few seconds, okay? And then maybe he's gonna like move it to here. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. So, and if it's going slow like this, you can actually, this is full view, full quality. So we can go half, okay? And you can still see it, and it'll just render a little bit faster when it goes here for the green. Okay, so notice it's really slow, so I can kind of like move that keyframe in so it looks a little bit faster. Okay. Okay, so right there is where my bow starts to change. And there we go. See, moves it. Okay, and after he moves it, if you want the hand to go back down, okay, go in here, and notice I can change my scale. I can reduce it. Now we want this other hand to go back in, but we don't have it anymore because we subtracted it. So Command C, Command V, so we have a duplicate copy, move it on this side, okay, and then we're good. So first, so it's back down. So first it's up, okay, and then it's back down. But you may want to zoom in to make sure that there's no missing arms along the way. Okay, and to make things a little bit more interesting, this balloon, okay, that I have right here. First of all, let's make it a little bit bigger. S for scale. And let's make the balloon a little bit bigger. Okay, and then let's make it float up like he lost the balloon. Okay. So maybe at the last 3 seconds he loses it. So click on the stopwatch here, move it out to here, and P for position, and I'm going to drag it up. Okay, one more time. Click on position in the balloon, drag it out a few seconds, drag it up, and watch it again. Okay, so go to the sun and hit S for scale because we're going to make it grow bigger as the sun goes. So hit the stopwatch for scale, drag it out. Okay. And maybe it goes bigger to 200%. You can choose the percentage, just make sure it's getting bigger, but not too big. 150. Okay, so right now it's 30 seconds. We don't need 30 seconds of this. Okay, so what you can do is drag this work end area and maybe like 10 to 15 seconds. So just drag it out to there. And if you want to see it, like preview it, you can hit this right here, play stop preview. And what that will do is it will preview the whole thing in sequence. Now you see that green, the green is it's rendering. It's queuing up. And so it's getting ready, and it's queuing up as it goes. And after it finishes all this green area, then you'll be able to see it in real time and how it should look. Okay, right there, and then it'll loop back, and now this is how it will look. And then you can adjust your keyframes. Notice the first 5 seconds was pretty boring. Nothing really happened. Okay, so I may want to maybe change the sun position. Maybe I want the sun to go faster. But yeah, you can just decide how you wanna do it. Okay, so that's a little bit more animation. Hope you had fun.